Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me today. So I have this lovely 8-inch hexagon and I'm going to try something different today, putting some colors down, blowing it out, and maybe swipe, and let's just see what happens. So this color is ultraviolet and I'm using global paints that I've mixed with glue and water. I'm just going to put some puddles down and see what happens. This color is called Lilac Sachet and I really love this color pink. The next color I'm using is Metallic Lavender. So I was experimenting with mostly metallics and to see what happened. That color there is a Hansa yellow. And that's a beautiful yellow too. I love that color. So this color is Metallic Rose Gold. This is a really nice color as well. So how is everyone today? These paints are mixed. I don't think I said they're mixed with just water, distilled water, and they're all global paints. So that color is Metallic Fuchsia. I'm doing a voiceover for this video because I did it originally with some music in the background and the music was far too loud and very annoying. So I decided not to use music and to do a voiceover. And this color here has an unusual name of Turquoise Beach. And this light color is Metallic Mauve. So my cell activators are Amsterdam paints. That one is titanium Amsterdam Titanium White, sorry, and that one is Amsterdam Lamp Black, and they're both mixed with Australian Floetrol. So I was going to try and blow these out, or my idea was to blow these out so they looked like flowers. So I did use a straw. I have this nice big fat straw that I got in a bubble tea recipe, and I'm using that to blow because as I've got asthma, I can't do the blowing on the surface. It just doesn't work for me. So I thought this is a better idea. So they started off okay, as you can see, and then I took a smaller straw and blew them out a bit more. So the colours look really pretty when I'm doing this. You can see the yellows coming up and the pinks and the purples. Really nice. And I really like working on a turntable like this because it's easier for me to turn things around, look at the composition, do what I need to do without having to pick the canvas up all the time and physically turning it around. The only issue is that you can only do small paintings because I only have a very small turntable. But one day I might get a new big one, who knows. But at the moment I just have this little tiny one, and it does me nicely. So at this stage I was very happy with how this looked and the composition of it. And I did ruin it. I was happy with it. I should have just left it as it was. I'm just doing some swirls, playing with it a bit, just to make it look a bit fancier, put some interest in it. I think my main concern was that the paint was still quite heavy. So I did cut a bit out of this because I played with this for quite a while and I didn't want to bore everyone and make the video really long. So if it's a bit choppy, that's the reason why, because it was a very long video. I tend to get very carried away sometimes when I'm doing it. I forget I'm recording, and so then I have to cut it down heaps. So I'm just playing and having a good time. Actually, it's quite relaxing to do stuff like this, and I enjoy doing it. That's why I get lost sometimes with the times. So I did like it at this point. I had added a bit of extra paint, and then I made the mistake of spinning it. Mostly I did that because the paint was thick and I was frightened that, well, not frightened, but I was concerned that if I left it thick it would crack while it was drying. So I thought spinning it was a good way to ensure that didn't happen, but it was kind of a disaster. And I tried to fix it by blowing it out, and then I spun it again. You know, don't learn, do I? And that just made it even worse. And as you can see, I've lost even more paint, and that big white patch in the middle was really bothering me. So I decided that maybe I would try and fix this by putting some colour in there. So the idea was to put some colours in and make some flowers. So as you can see, I'm putting the pink in and then the rose gold and some of that lovely blue. And then a bit of the metallic fuchsia. A little white cell activator on top. Give it a blowout again, see what happens. So I quite like that because there was some really nice cells that popped up, so I thought I'd do another one. Why not? The worst that can happen is it's horrible and you just scrape all the paint off, which I've done numerous times. So this time I had the lilac sachet and the yellow and the metallic mauve, just for a bit of difference. And again the metallic fuchsia, because that's a nice colour. Did the same, put some white Floetrol on it and gave it a blow with my fat straw again. And much happier with this than I was before. I have cut some off there, as you saw. So I'm blowing this out to make a flower. And that did have some really nice cells in it, so I was quite pleased with that. Not what I had planned, but when you're doing this kind of painting, sometimes it has a mind of its own and you just have to go with the flow. And I did spend a little time just playing with it and making patterns and seeing if I liked the composition of it. So I did say that I used just water with this, but actually I didn't. It was glue and water I used for this painting. And I have a lot of trouble in the past using glue and water. I don't know if I'm mixing it wrong or what I'm doing, because I do get a lot of craying and cracking when it's dried. So I just keep trying and seeing if I can get it right, because it's worked for me well in the past and it works for other people as well. I just can't seem to get it to work for me at the moment. But I was quite happy with this as the wet result. Looked quite nice. And this is what it looks. This is a close-up of the wet painting. And it does look quite nice. And my camera did stop recording when I was doing this. And this is the dried result. So I'm quite pleased with how it worked out. So it dried okay. Not completely happy with how it dried. It did crack in some thicker parts, like here. You can see it's craying. It's cracked a little bit. But I kind of knew that would happen because the paint was quite thick there. But the colours are really nice together. Oh, that's my dog saying hello. That's Willow, wanting in on the action. So overall, it's quite nice. So I'm not mad at it. I do wish it would have dried smoother, but I'll keep going and keep practicing and see what I can come up with. And so I'm going to let this dry and see if it needs any embellishments or anything. But tell me, what do you think, guys? Do you think it was a disaster? Do you think it turned out okay in the end? So I'll go now. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. And until next time, please take care of yourself, your family, and the people you love.